Hi friends, welcome to Tutors Funny channel. This is a part 2 video of Nodejs, Mongodb and Angular. So here in our last class we saw the get all function and create, right? How to add the record and view the records. In this class I'm going to talk about the update part. So what I'm going to do is, so let's get this URL. I'm going to explain, don't worry. If I write this one, take too much of time to complete. So here, third one, this one, you have to go. You type routes, route. So this is the route object you are getting. There is a predefined function on the dot route. So here you have write like this. Here I already show you this. Here route. The predefined function is route. So here you have to call the path. If the URL is coming like this, when the URL is coming like this here, when the URL is coming like this, here you can notice that when you get the records, when you view the records, there is a function which is a get. Okay, when you post the values to the database, when you type the form, when you fill the form and click submit button, the value is posting to the database. So this is a posting method. This is retrieving the data from the database. This is the posting the value to the database. After that, there is another function which is a fetch. Fetch we use to update the record. Okay, so you have a records. Okay, you have a records in the database. You have to make the changes and click save again. So the record should be updated, not recreate the record. The existing record need to be updated. So we have to write the method which is a patch. Node.js, they have the methods get, post, and patch, right? So the Crud operation, there's a different method, right? You get, post, and patch. Okay, easily understand. So how to check user update ID? ID mean you have a record on the database. Okay, so when you update the particular record, you update the record via the ID, because ID is a unique, so that we have get the ID and update the employee records, right? So here this patch user controller, this is a controller, there's a update. So I will be telling the flow, how the flow works. First you have to go to the controller will be passing the record to service. Okay, this is a route passing the record. This is you see the URL coming like this. This is a route.js. It passing the controller pass to the service pass to the model is the part where communicate with the MongoDB database and update the records into the database table, right? That's a flow, working flow. Now we have created the function update user controller in our controller class. So here I'm going to create the controller. Go to the Node.js. Here you have to type the controller. There's a function update, right? So you have to, I'll be explain, don't worry. So create this one here, whereas update. Paste it over here, right? Now you can see here, this is a function. When the URL is coming, user control update, it goes to the controller class update function. You can see the assign task, require, it pass two variables, request and response. You get the request and send the response. Now you get the request. What is the request you are getting? You are getting the request, this URL. So when the request is coming, it passes the controller. Now here in the controller will be get the request. Here the record is get the request. Okay, the get the request, passing the request param ID mean you get the ID, particular ID over here. You have to check the console where the console ID is successfully display on. And request body mean all the records we are checking like this, right? You have to put the request body and request param. You will be check the ID whether ID is passing correct or not, right? After that, you have to write what you have to create the variable result. You have to put the await you have to put it here. You have to write assign, right? This method. So here control will be passing via, okay, the flow, how the flow control is, the when the request is coming, it passing to the request to the which service. Service, there is a function. Here we have to create update one user. Okay, update one. You can create whatever name. I have created update one, update user service. Create update user service, right? Update user service. Here request param ID. Here this ID param. You get the ID. Get request. You write the params dot id and request body. Right? When you update the record, there is a body. Okay, if your first name, last name, your name, address, phone number, there is a body. Okay, ID means the particular ID. Okay, the name, address, phone number, that one person details. So that person requires relevant ID, it passing to this para. Okay, when you update the record, you get the particular person's ID and update. Okay, because why I getting the ID mean ID should be unique, so that we have get the ID, particular ID, and update the records into the database. That's how the service works. Now here, this result, if you have to check here, if result, okay, now here, I'm going to this one. Before that, this is a request you are sending. Okay, whether it's request sending via user service. So user service, you have to check it here. You have to create here. This one user service, you are starting here. You have to create it here as uh, user service. There's an update method, update function here. Paste it, copy it. I'm going to go to the paste it over, right? Here it passing the request to update user. This is the function I have written there, right? Update user, right? So here when we ask that controller, this controller, you click on this, it's come to the update user, get the particular ID and body details. So here it will be passing here request parameters ID and body mean the details. It passing to this array. Okay, when the request is coming here, and after that you can check whether request is coming or not. You can console.log employee user details. You can check it here. User details. You can read user details. You can check it here. User details. Right. Okay. After that, you can see the new promise in service. You have created the promise, which is a function which will be handling the URLs. We handling the request and response URL. So here, when the request is success, it will be passing to the resource. Resolve will be work. If the request is failure, reject. There should be two functions: resolve and reject in the promise. When you create the file promise, if the result is succeed, resolve will be work. If the result is failure, reject will be work. So it will be communicated with via user model. User model, find ID and update. There is a predefined method here. Okay, find, okay, ID and update. It's a predefined method. Find ID and update. Right? It's a find ID update. The predefined method. Okay, in user model, right? Find ID update, right? This is the predefined method, right? In Node.js, ID user details. So this ID and user is we're passing here. Function return data, error result. You have to write like this, error result. So here you have to write if error, you have to code this one, this error. If it is error, it will be reject false. If it is, here we have to pass the if it is resolved. When the request is correct, it is resolved. Result will be work. Okay, if it is working, one will be communicate via the models. Models mean this is a model. The user schema. This is the model. Where the this is the model we are communicate with the database and update the record into the table. Right. This is how the formula works. Right. Very simple. Right now, what I'm going to do is here. I'm going to go to save all things we are save all. Now let's select here server, sorry, here node server .js. Now we will be running the server first. What was there? Right, the problem is here. Right, correct. If there is any error here, this one we didn't export it. That's why here we create the function but we didn't export it. That's why the error came. Okay, that's it. We understand the error. Okay, here it's simply when you get the error, the no person will be here. Route patch require the callback function mean you have create the function particular function but you haven't exported. That's why the function this error will be coming, right? So let's save. Again, I am going to go to the service.js page. Here also details, user details also I am going to error. Here I am going to wrong this one also. Right, user details also I wrote it wrong. So save all. Now again run the project server. Now it will started DB connected. Now let's go to the open the Postman. Now here this is the update part, right? So here this is the how to write the update. You can write like this. Yeah, I'll be showing you how to write. Uh, where's my notepad? Nodejs. Right now here you can see what is the URL, the route. Uh, right now here you can see here this is a route. Say route. This is a, when the URL type user type URL like this. The same URL. Go here. Here you can see here this update. So you can see update. This is the ID. Okay, this is the ID, right? You can see here user update particular ID I have get it here. You can simply user update. This is a port where it will be running. Method you have to select as patch over here. ID user ID. You get your wait, let's get all. We'll check get all function, how the function is work. Not patch, get all the employee IDs over here. You can see here. Now here this period is I'm going to update. So get the ID and update. So how to copy this ID? User, what is the function? You have to write update slash particular ID. This one you have to change it as address. This one is the phone number. Now what I'm going to do is here I'm going to this field name you have to change this name, right? So I'm going to update this particular ID. This is Peter. I'm going to try type Peter and email address and phone number like this. Click send button. Sorry, you have to send patch at this time. Updated successfully. Now let's check here. Get all. Send request. Not patch the get. You make sure the appropriate request. Okay, get and post. Okay, here Peter and all things are successfully changed. Right, perfect. It's working perfect. Now let's go to the update part, delete part. So how the routes work the delete. Okay, now let's the same thing. Here do it as a delete as well. Go back to my routes. The remove the same function, the same like this. Paste over here. Right. Now here when the request is coming, route when the request is coming, user remove. It goes they are different function. When you get the records, calling the get request. When you post the when you create the record, post request, update the record, patch request, delete the record, delete request. Okay, here it will be changed. Very simply, Node.js they are implemented these functions. Okay, get, post, patch, and delete. They implemented different function for each operation, right? So user control, we have to create the method delete user. So how to create? Go to the user control. We have to create the method which is the delete. So let's I go to here and copy this one. Right now here, how to write this one is here. You can see here var delete user. This is the function we have to create here. Request and response, you get the request from where? Server request. You get the server request, and your console log you can check whether the request coming or not. Here you can see here, right? So here you can check var request avoid. So this is an update one. This record you have to update like this. So same thing here, you have to do the console log over here. When you delete the record, you get the particular ID. If you going to delete the record as John, get him the ID and get delete all the rows. So that's the same thing you have to do. You have to get the ID. So get as a param here. Yeah, var result, you have to get the variable. You have to put the avoid, you have to get this one, right? So user service you have to create the function remove user db request param get the ID. So now what I'm going to so process, go to the service, we have to create the user delete function. So go to the delete user delete function. So here you have to delete. Back over here, paste it over here, right? So here you can see here the one more thing I forgot it. If you implement this function, you have to copy this and below here model export comma you have to paste it, then only it will work, right? So after that you have to get the remove. Come to the remove user function. So remove function here, get the ID, get the particular ID. You're sending the ID through this controller. You're sending the ID here. Just send this ID param. Here, this function, it's coming the ID via by the ID. So this, if you implement this here, you can see the update. There will be two parameters will be passed, ID and body. Here only ID will be coming. Here receiving the ID. Here you can see here the update one, ID and body. The two things are coming and put in the argument. So here ID will be coming. So it will be passing to the promise here, resolve and reject function. It through it there will be the, if you delete the record in user model in Mongodb here, they are defined find and delete. This function in Nodejs. So here this function what does is delete the record from the database. So ID, get the ID function here, it will be argument you have set it as error and request. Okay, so if it is error, it will be reject the request. If it is result, it will be resolve. Resolve means if the request is succeed, it the resource will be work. It's any database problem, any error display, it will be rejected will be a. It's communicate with the models. Okay, models apart, we are communicate with the database, right? So the model I will be explaining here. This is schema, right? So how to pass a request, now you have idea. Route will passing the request to controller. Controller will be passing the request to where? Service. Service the process we have done the operation, right? Service in the done the operation. So where the model and it's back to the result. Right now we done the delete part. Now let's save all. Now go to the my server is already running here. No need to execute the server again. Here we have to delete request. You have to method delete. So you try how to delete user delete. When the request is delete slash, I'm going to delete this and Peter's records. Paste over here. Okay, now you have to not body, you have to send it. You have to none it. Click send. What error? Can't delete user. What is the error here? Sorry, not here. Open up here. It's not sorry, not delete. Here request it not delete. Here remove. You have set that remove. Right, not delete. You have to, if you want, you can check it here. Delete as well. It's working. When the result is coming, delete. Now you can save all. Now the delete will be work. Okay, I have put it the delete. But it's not working. Delete user delete the particular ID. Back to my terminal again, not this terminal. Again, I'm going to run the server. If there's a problem with the server, while the problem here. Now, if you are the ID is okay, the record has been deleted. Now again, I'm going to send it right here. Delete record is deleted. Record has been deleted. Right. So if you want to check another delete part, so here I'm going to type You can see get all function. Okay, that record is deleted. I want to delete this record here. Copy it. So here, go to the first required method, delete, use a delete flash the respective ID, send it, use a delete. Now you have to get all function, get it. So nothing will be there. All things are removed. Right? Perfect. It's working perfect. This is how we have done the front end for. Right? In my next video tutorial, I'm going to teach about the back end part we already done. In my next video tutorial, I'm going to start my uh, front end part, which is a no Angular. Thank you for watching.